Apa tatamanuhaw?
Hafide Toda Samzu. As Guam and its Chamorro culture is surrounded by vast diversity, we continue to cherish and uphold the founding roots of this unique paradise, and we hope that you will too. From our land and language to our beliefs and traditions, let's take a look at all of the significant things about Guam, this island we call home. More than 4,000 years ago, Chamorros, the native people of Guam, made Guam and all of the Mariana Islands their home. Their native tongue is known as Chamorro, and Guam in the Chamorro language is called Guahan, which means we have. Guam is located at 13 degrees north latitude and 144 degrees east longitude between the Philippine Sea and the Pacific Ocean. The island covers an area of about 214 square miles and is the largest, most populated of the 15 Mariana Islands in the Western Pacific, with a population of more than 170,000 people. Guam has a total of 19 villages, with the village of Hagåtña as its capital. Guam is warm and humid year-round and is known to have just two seasons, the rainy season from July to November and the dry season from December to June. The average high temperature is 86 degrees and the low is 76 degrees. The territorial bird of Guam is the Guam rail, known as the koku in Chamorro. The territorial flower is the bougainvillea, or in Chamorro, putitanobu. And Guam's territorial tree is the ifil tree, or in Chamorro, ifit. The Guam seal is in the shape of a sling stone, locally known as the achu atupat, a weapon made by the Chamorro people, primarily for hunting and battle. Within the seal, you'll see the Hagåtña River, which empties into the sea. The mouth of the river and surrounding beach with a coconut tree, locally known as the Tronconitsok in Chamorro, and Tree of Life, and a flying proa, the greatest means of transportation for the early Chamorros. In the distance, you'll see a cliff known as Two Lovers Point, or Punta dos Amantes, named for the legend of a forbidden romance between two lovers who, rather than be separated, tied their hair together and leapt off this point into the sea. Lastly, Guam is printed across the middle of the seal in bold red letters. The seal is the centerpiece of the Guam flag, laying on a sea of deep blue with the red border, and was first raised in 1918. The Guam hymn, entitled Stan Ye Guamanians, or Fanogi Chamorro in Chamorro, was written in English and composed by Dr. Ramon Manalisay Sablan in 1919. Then was translated into the Chamorro language in 1974 by Lagrimas Leon Guerrero Antlan. Guam also has a pledge entitled Inifresi, written by Dr. Bernadita Camacho Dunca. An important sign of the Chamorro identity, especially in describing the strength of the Chamorro traditions and values, is the lati. It is indigenous to Guam and the rest of the Mariana Islands and vary in size, traditionally made of limestone or sandstone. In ancient times, lati stones were used as the foundations for structures, as well as burial grounds for the dead. Also known as the acholati, lati stones were built in two parts, the pillar called a halini and the capstone called tasa. The Tautamona, or people of the past, are believed to be the ancestral spirits that live about the island in the jungles, caves, and trees. They're believed to be the guardians and spirits of the jungle in ancient lati sites. Residents and visitors are encouraged to respect and ask Tautamona for permission when entering the jungle, harvesting from it, or performing any functions within it. One would address the spirits as Gwela Zangwelu, grandmother and grandfather. It is said that one can become ill or experience unusual bruising on the body if respect is not displayed and permission not sought. Guam's herbal healers, known as Surahanu or Surahana, have been healing the Chamorro long before Western medicine arrived on island. They are also considered mediators between the physical and spiritual worlds. It is believed that they're able to communicate with Tautamona in hopes of finding the sources of sickness or find out if the person who is ill has offended a spirit and brought on their condition. The Surahana can intervene and offer apologies or gifts to appease the spirits. Some doctors believe that the Cirujano can be complementary to Western medicine. However, it is suggested that if the illness is serious or worsens, to seek a doctor for help because the hope is to get the person well. An admirable symbol of Guam's seafaring ancestry is the outrigger canoe, better known as the flying proa because of its speed and agility, or sakman in Chamorro. It is important to respect Guam's culture and historic symbols, as each of them have a meaningful place in the island's rich history and in the hearts of its people.
The Chamorro people have been raised with the practice of respecting their people, land, and sea. Itautau, Itano, Zanitasi. If it's one thing the Chamorro people are known for, it's their great sense of generosity and hospitality towards others.
The core of the Chamorro culture is centered on tradition, respect, and helping one another, particularly the value of inafamalik, meaning to make things right and good. It is about the spirit of cooperation and being able to depend on one another and maintaining harmonious relationships among family, friends, and neighbors. Another Chamorro custom is the act of giving, known as chinchuli, whether it be through a physical or monetary gift or donation, or through labor that would contribute towards someone else's gain. Whether they are on the giving or receiving end, Chamorros also practice reciprocity. For example, if someone were to give a gift or do a favor for another, the receiving individual will make sure to give a gift or do a favor for that individual, especially during the person's time of need.
Be sure to keep these customs and values in mind and respect the Chamorro people, as they've played a key role in shaping the spirit and livelihood of the Chamorro people.
In homes, at gatherings, or even out in the community, a common Chamorro gesture that you'll see being done throughout the entire island is the practice of greeting elders, or mangingi. This is done by taking an elder's hand, putting it to your nose, and briefly smelling it. This shows deep respect, and in turn, elders will bestow a verbal blessing. While the elderly are given a ngingi, the people, young and old, also greet each other with a quick kiss on the cheek or a hug. The Chamorro people continue to sustain their ancient practices of living off the land and telling their story through fishing and hunting, known as pesca in Chamorro, the ancient art of storytelling and chanting and singing and dancing, and other practices such as weaving tree palms to make mats, baskets, and more, and making salt, tools, and instruments. Guam's population is predominantly Roman Catholic. This has formed the island into taking up the spiritual traditions of celebrating the feast days of saints and praying novenas and the Holy Rosary.
The patron saint of our island is Our Lady of CAMARIN, locally known as CAMARIN CAMARIN. She is revered and celebrated on December 8th, the Feast of the Immaculate Conception.
The 300-year-old Santa Maria Camarlin statue is a revered figure. Although her true origin is unknown, stories of her arrival have been explained through oral tradition. Every year on December 8, Guam Catholics turn out by the thousands in the capital village of Hagåtña to honor Santa Maria Camarlin in a mass and procession around the village, during which the people join in praying the Holy Rosary.
Finally, the largest traditional event on Guam is Liberation Day and the festivals and memorials surrounding this day.
On July 21, 1944, U.S. forces stormed the island's beaches to liberate thousands of Chamorros from Japanese occupation during World War II. Since then, many of the Chamorro people have unceasingly shown their great appreciation for the U.S. Armed Forces. For decades, the people have commemorated their Liberation Day with a parade, carnival, Queen's pageant, and memorial ceremonies at each of the World War II massacre sites around the island. It is during these events that the local and military communities come together to celebrate as one. If there's one thing that any gathering on Guam calls for, it's food, and the Chamorro people are known to invite guests to eat with them and to pack food before their departure. Over the years, American, European, Asian, and Micronesians have left their imprint on the island's cuisine. Fiesta tables are usually topped with local dishes, such as red rice, shrimp patties, pancit, barbecue ribs and chicken, taro leaves cooked in coconut milk, shrimp or chicken kelaguen, dried beef, potato salad, lumpia, and depending on the size of the party, a whole roasted pig. When you do go to a fiesta, a host may encourage you to balutin. The word balutin means to wrap. When the host of the party insists you wrap up several plates of fiesta food, refusing to do so may be offensive because it may mean you did not enjoy the cooking. When you do wrap food, take what you can eat. However, be cautious because it is inappropriate to balutin early in the party when people are still eating and guests are still arriving. Otherwise, enjoy.
As you settle in on the island and get to know the community, here are some common and helpful words and phrases to remember.
Welcome. Bienvenido. Hi, hello. Hafide, buenas. Goodbye. Adios. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Good evening. Buenas noches. Thank you. Yyzmene Blas. Good morning. Buenos dias or mañanas Yyzmene. How are you? Hafatetet manu how? Good. Malik. Bad. Baba. Yes. Hungen. No. Ahi. Excuse me. Dispensa zo. I love you. Hugwaidzahow.
We hope you've enjoyed a glance of this beautiful island in the Western Pacific. Please join us in preserving and protecting our island, our culture, and our values. Undunkalu nasi Yyzmene Blas.